Hi friends, Simit here from InformedTrades.com. Today is January 22nd, 2014. January 23rd, 2014. Today it's time for our daily chart review. Basically, this is a time where I look through all the Forex charts that I'm monitoring, about 20 some pairs, and share the analyses and trades I'm placing, any movement of stop loss, and so on. Um, so let's get started. Okay, first placed a couple orders which did not get filled and are still pending. One is Euro Kiwi. So I like to start with the trades that I currently have on. I don't have any trades on at the moment, so let's look at the orders that I have that are pending. Euro Kiwi, this is a recurring theme for me this month in January 2014. Been a little bit of a rough month for me, down a little less than 1% at the time. I just haven't been getting some orders filled, and this was a little bit of a mental error on my part. But so I definitely take the blame. I had an entry order placed on here after this behavior, then I canceled it after this move. And I don't really think canceling it was, well. Then I canceled it, and then I put it back on here, but it didn't get filled, and now we had that big rally, so it's sort of left without me, possibly. I'll still leave the entry order on in case this is a prolonged range, but we'll see. If I just left the entry order on and kept it on, we'd be in a much better situation, at least at the time being. Okay, the other position I have on is Euro Yen. So basically, the theme for me this month, unfortunately, has been the market just moving without me and not getting my orders filled. In some instances, this has been my mistake. However, there have been, some instances, I'd say it's about half the time where it's a little bit my mistake, and the other half is, just the market left without me. I don't really think it's a trading mistake. Euro Yen, I still have this order on. It didn't get filled. I think that's just the market moving on its own. It still might, so it might still get filled here. And Aussie Yen, which was a range-bound trade I placed 2 days ago. Okay, now we're getting close to this one being filled. However, we are not yet filled. So let's see. We are, still about 30 pips to go. But you can see this black line is where I'm set to enter. And we'll see what happens if price can get to that level. It went right up to 200 EMA and then was knocked down. And that, well, something's, yeah, it's been going back and forth through the 200 EMA. So we'll see if this ends up getting filled. Often, I'm looking at the daily chart, so in some instances it may take 3 or 4 days for an order to get filled, and that's fine. Like I've mentioned repeatedly in these videos, patience is a huge part of trading. Okay, Euro, Australian dollar, still need that pullback. Clear trend, right? Waiting for the pullback. Haven't really gotten it. And Euro's rallying again, big time. We're probably going to see the same thing with Euro Canada. Right. Yeah. So, when I like to see a clear trend, that's great. However, it's got to give a pullback for me to enter on based on my approach. If the pullback doesn't come, then so be it. I was, at least with the orders I had placed in Euro Yen and Euro Kiwi, at least it was correctly anticipating a bullish move in the Euro. The orders didn't get filled, but at least there's, perhaps some redemption in finding an analysis that was valid. Euro pound, big rally here. If Euro pound can come all the way up to here, it could be worth shorting. Or, in light of how prices developed, actually, let's take that back. Let's draw Fibonacci from right here, the swing high, down to this swing low. Okay, so if price comes to here, let's make that black. Let's change the style. Okay, that coincides. So basically, we have this, resistance level, and I'm viewing this as a resistance level based on largely on this price action here. Um, which also a 61.8% move of this swing high down to this swing low. So if we can come down here, especially if it takes a little bit of time and the 50 simple moving average is even closer, that could be a really interesting level to short from. We'll see. We'll still have a ways to go before we get there. Let me just see what this looks like on the weekly chart. Okay. Also, in this level, you can see it goes back also to here, January 2011. So the market has a bit of a memory for this level that I've identified at 61.8 level, which is what's that? 82.76. Um, right now we're at 82.13, so we have about what's that? 63 pips to go. So if Euro can rally 63 pips, that could be a opportunity to short Euro pound. If Euro pound can rally 63 pips, I should say. Okay. Euro yen, we took a look at earlier. Let's just briefly look at it again. Yeah, so just waiting here, nothing really to do. And Euro New Zealand, yeah, we saw this too. This is the move, took off a little bit without me. My mistake here. I definitely should have just kept my entry order that I placed January 14th, about a week ago, a little more than a week ago. Should have just kept that on a week and a half ago. Should have just kept that on. Instead, I took it off, and well, that's that. Okay. Of course, it's better to not have an order get filled than have it get filled and lose. So there are definitely worse things. That's some way of looking at it positively, I suppose. Euro US dollar. And if you, for those who were watching our video yesterday, I'm just going to jump ahead to the dollar Swiss because that was something a trade I was considering yesterday, and it would have worked. um, it would have worked out really well. We would have had this big candle, which could have been I could have quickly moved to stop to break even. However, I still wanted more of that pullback, and I'm okay with that in this particular trade. Um, I'm definitely okay with that because I was having difficulty finding the right level of place to stop if I didn't enter. If I waited for this pullback, it was much better a reward risk setup. So I didn't get filled, but I'm satisfied with the way I analyzed that situation. Let's go to the pound pairs. Pound Aussie. Okay, that's just running away. We're seeing the same thing. Probably going to see the same thing again. I mentioned this before. Euro Aussie, Euro Canada, Pound Aussie, Pound Canada. They're all just trending. Yeah, so which is great. I mean, or it's great if you're in the trend. For those of us who are looking to get in, definitely need that pullback. So until that pullback comes, just wait and watch. And also we've commented on this with Canada before. It's really we're seeing an acceleration of how it's declining. So often when something accelerates like this, there's going to be sharp retracements, even if the fundamentals are justified. Which I mentioned this before, but I think pound is the next yen. I'm sure all the currencies, all the developed currencies in the world are having all sorts of problems. Pound is I think the yen's the worst, and I think the pound might be the second worst based on their debt situations, based on the debt of both these countries. Um, so in my opinion, I'd be more convinced that this was fundamentally correct if it was going the opposite way, if pound was declining against Canada at this rate rather than vice versa. Right now, Canada is declining against pound. But in any event, when the trend continues to get steeper and steeper, there's going to be a sharp retracement. So I think shorting this is a potential opportunity, but like I've also mentioned, I would wait a while to short this. I really want the trend, not only the bear trend to end, but a short trend to begin before I can look for that. Okay, so now should be pound Swiss. Oh, why isn't this coming up? Let's try this again. Huh. Well, having some difficulties with the charts here. Let's see if we can come back to that. Oh, a little bit of technical problems here. Here we go. Pound Swiss. Okay, so this is starting to pull back. Still have a ways to go. Let's see. Let's update this. So we go from this swing low all the way to that swing high, and we say our resistance is here. Okay. Yeah, if price can fall to 148.50. So right now we're about 150 pips away. If price can fall 150 pips on pound Swiss, it might be something I'm interested in. But for now, we'll wait. Save this analysis and take it from there. Pound yen. Yeah, okay. Still need more of a pullback here as well. Clearly in an uptrend, though. Price is above the 50 symbol moving average, which in turn is above the 200 exponential moving average. That's one of the things I like to look at to quickly gauge the trend and make sure it's in place. Pound kiwi. Okay, approaching the top of this range, and I'm just going to draw a dashed line right here. Make that a little thinner. Make that dashed. Oh. Okay. If it can, oh, it did rally. So is this I didn't even realize to touch that level. Is this something I want to short from? Now we are seeing something that looks like a reversal candlestick at resistance here. Let's see what it looks like on the 4-hour chart. Okay, that does look like a interesting, and one could even argue that here is the level to short from. Let's add another one right here. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to put an order to short pound kiwi. This is interesting. I definitely was not expecting this. Let's go back to the daily view. Okay, I don't know. We'll see if this order gets filled. But I'll put an order to short pound kiwi. And I'll put my, what are we targeting? So I would like to target this right here, which is 93.84. Okay, we'll come back to this. 93.84, so that's about 660 pips. So 220 pips. Chances are I'm going to want a fairly tight stop here. I'll probably have my stop right here, because this is a bet that this resistance level here is valid. So let me just draw that red line here. That's now here's what's probably going to happen. Now let's say this is a tight stop. Normally I have a little bit of a further stop, but what I'm expecting here is that if this level gets hit, I'll probably try to enter at this level. So that's basically, in fact, I may place 2 entry orders. One to short from, well, I won't do that just yet. But this is interesting. I like this. I think it's a little bit legit setup. I'm going to have a tight stop here because we're speculating that this level is going to hold. If that's incorrect, then or if that's correct, then this won't get hit. Conversely, if it goes through here, I may still be interested in shorting, but I'm going to be looking at shorting from here. So we'll see. Pound Kiwi is, I was not expecting to see, based on Euro Kiwi price action, I was really not expecting to see this this setup. But since it has emerged, I will take it. Okay. Shorting Pound Kiwi, come back to that at the end of this. And the target will be the black line here. Of course, I'll have, like I always do, I'll have this trade and any others I'm placing on InformedTrades.com on my blog there. Pound US dollar still rallying. Waiting for the pullback. That's all we have to do here. Okay, so that does it for the pound pairs. Let's go to dollar Canada. Okay, another reversal candlestick. Looks like it could be in the making. We have a long wick here. However, we saw that here, which I thought would have been I'm not a counter trend trader, as I mentioned before, but for those who are, I thought this could be an interesting opportunity. However, market soared up through the next level. So, as I mentioned, the Canadian dollar has really been falling. We're at 111 now, which is that's pretty significant. I definitely did not expect that. But if we so there's going to be an opportunity to potentially buy the dip, although it's going to need to be a significant dip in light of the sharp acceleration of the price, which I think is going to occur at some point. There may be a lot of folks who are going to try to sell the top here or call the top and sell it. I think that could work well if that's your style of trading. It's not my style, so I'm just going to stick with what has worked well for me in the past and the sort of the trajectory I want to improve upon. I want to improve upon trend trading. Dollar Swiss. Yeah, well, this was in hindsight, I should have placed the order yesterday, although I don't regret not placing the order. I think that's totally understandable. I think I would have stuck to my analysis. There may be, now it does illustrate room for improvement. I do need to perhaps tweak my approach and see how I could have better put on that trade, but that's a gradual process, always learning. And as we get that pattern again, I already have some ideas on how I might be able to do some things. Dollar Singapore. This has also been rallying upwards, not getting much of a pullback. Oh, okay. Look at this. A really sharp reversal pattern at resistance. I'm really tempted to short this. I mean, this is a wonderful long wick candle at a resistance level. I mean, that is. And we have here, preceding this candle, we had a what looks like a hammer or a doji type of candle, short doji. Let's call it a doji-ish candle, nearing resistance. So this is a great setup. Part of me wants to short this, but I know I shouldn't. At least not yet. I'm not. Let's see if I can get some of my range-bound trading to work properly. Let's see how that goes. For counter trend traders, I definitely understand this setup. We have a reversal pattern at resistance. But let's see how that goes. Okay, dollar Singapore. That about does it for that. Now let's go to Canadian dollar. Canada Swiss. Wow. Fell sharply here. We're now outside that price channel, right? So some traders, like I mentioned before, I give much more credence to horizontal lines than diagonal lines. I don't like to place. I like to see diagonal lines or like to consider as like a supporting tool, not the main show. So I won't be now. A lot of traders will expect, especially break out of a channel, that you'll come back and retest the bottom of the channel, and they may try to short from this level. However, that's not really my style, but it is something to watch, something to consider. Canada yen. Okay. Now we've fallen pretty considerably to a support level. Let me just look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, looks like well, who knows, but this could potentially be a bottom that we're finding here. So let's go back to the daily chart. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. There we go. Okay, is that a level that I want to be playing with? Hmm. Something going on here. I'm not entirely convinced in how this is shaping up. I think I'd rather wait to see if you can fall or touch the bottom blue line of the range. That'd be, to me, my preferred setup. So I'm just going to hold off on this. Let's see if it can fall all the way. Just a little more downside in the Canadian dollar to about 130 pips. If it can follow this blue line, then I'd be interested in going long. Oh, okay, so that does it for the Canadian dollar pair. Something's interesting there, and where it currently is, you can see it's sort of at that level. It is at a support level, um, but I'm just not as convinced of that support level. It broke through it here, and there's just that one right beneath it. So we'll see. I may also reconsider depending on how the candles end today, and if we have a little bit of consolidation tomorrow. It could be something interesting, but at least for now, I'll keep an eye out on it. Tomorrow for sure, but I don't want to place an order at this time. Okay, Aussie Canadian dollar. Yeah, I mean rallied here. I still just want to see it come up, or we had a big up candle, then a down candle. I still just want to see it touch this black line. I want to say disciplined about that. There's always a little temptation to justify. Let's actually. You could say, yeah, you could say this is a. Hmm. Well, you could say this is a resistance level. Um, hmm. But ultimately, I just want to see, yeah. So we'll make this very thin, a little bit thicker, and we will make it dashed. So I don't think I'll enter on it, but we'll see. This is another one where let's give it a couple more candles. If a really nice setup continues, if we see some consolidation, it may be interesting. But at this point, my instinct is to prefer a pullback to 98.72. I like that resistance level much more. Also, Canada, I could be persuaded if we have signs of a range forming. Aussie Swiss. Yeah, still need more of a pullback here. Aussie yen, we talked about this. We have an order on already. Getting close. That might get filled. We'll see though. Still got about 35 pips to go. And I'll see New Zealand. Trading range here. This is clearly in a downtrend. I want to see that pullback and looking for a level to short from. We may be getting a reversal here, so we do have that base forming, which is always a good sign to see for those who are interested in seeing a reversal. Aussie US dollar. Same concept here. Okay, so last week I had mentioned that Australian dollar was looking to decline. I put on a bunch of orders that did not get filled, but that call was correct. Australian dollar did decline a lot this week. Now it looks like the base is forming. That's going to be so next week we may get a rally in the Australian dollar. But we'll see. There may be a lot of folks who are interested in trading that rally. I'm more interested in shorting it because I see the downtrend clearly in place. So I'm trying to trade with the trend. Okay. So that's Australian dollar, US dollar. Let's go to New Zealand dollar. Kiwi, Canada. Okay. Like every other currency seems like against Canadian dollar's been losing a lot of value quickly. And this is rallying sharply. Just waiting for the pullback, nothing else to do. I don't want to call a top, although there definitely is going to be, for those who are comfortable trading against the trend, there's going to be a great opportunity, perhaps multiple opportunities, in shorting all these Canada cross pairs. Kiwi Swiss. Okay. Well, this was another one that in hindsight I should have yeah, my trading has just been off in the month of January. My analysis has just been off. Maybe I started these videos in January. I wonder if there's a correlation, but we'll see. I'm confident. You know, the most important thing in a downstretch of any kind is that you're limiting your drawdown. So with drawdown at just under 1%, I think that's sufficiently limited. But you know, here was the sign. I might not have gotten filled even if I had put the order on yesterday. We had that big move down. Once we have this type of a range here, it would have been a good level for me to short. I had the levels marked on the chart, so we'll see. That was definitely can list that as my mistake. Kiwi yen. Okay, this is price channel broken out of the price channel. I just want to see it fall more though. You know, I'm not that convinced. I have the Euro yen and Aussie yen orders on. I think that's much more persuasive. Let's see this fall a little more and get some price action that I find clear. We'll see. Although, like I have mentioned, shorting yen is always something those are probably my favorite setups to see. If I see a good short, you set up to short the yen or go long something else against the yen. That is my favorite. I really think the yen is going to lose a significant amount of value. We talk about this a lot on Informed Trades. If you go to informedtrades.com/Japan. Okay, Kiwi dollar here is still in that trading range. I don't really want to trade anything in a range like this, so I'll pass on that. So the one order I'll be placing today is pound Kiwi. Okay, and that sort of marks the setup right there. We will be shorting at 2005 or no. Basically 2005 with a stop at 2012. So that's what's that, risking about 70 pips. And the target profit's going to be 193.85. Well, that's something. It's a really nice reward risk. I'll calculate the math and I'll post it all up on InformedTrades.com. um, we'll see how this gets if this gets filled or not. Definitely, my trading has been a little off in the month of January. Although, like I mentioned, I've limited drawdown, so I'm not too concerned. This is something I think I can bounce back from, and part of the process of continuing to learn as a trader. And that's about it. Anything you have, anything you want to share, any questions you have, you can join us at our learning community, InformedTrades.com. Thanks and best of luck in your trading.